Hey y'all, it's me Fletch back at it again with another video that you already know because I'm the best trans bitch on YouTube, and that's of the Pierce Miss Mamas. This is gonna be the story time about the time on how I ended up losing my job from Kroger's. Now, if y'all are OG subscribers, y'all already know that I was working at Kroger's. Like, I got my stardom from working. When I started YouTube, I was at FedEx, but I started like YouTube, like actually becoming consistent when I was working at Kroger's. So I was working at Kroger's back in, I want to say 2018, 2019 era, somewhere up in there. And I was a backstock clerk person, and then sometimes I would come around and like help the cashiers out, or I would come around and I would help out you know, the people doing like the carts outside, picking up the carts out the, not picking up the carts y'all, but taking the carts from in the parking lot that's scattered all over the place and putting them back in a basket and bringing them into the building or whatever. So I had a backstock manager and I had a overall manager. Now my overall manager, we're gonna call him Mr. Krabs, and we're gonna call this guy that I used to work with, we're gonna call him Devin. That was his real name. And we're gonna call this other guy I used to work with, we're gonna call him Adriel. So Adriel was a really handsome Hispanic guy. He had like the little shoulder length, you know, black hair, wear little baseball caps. He was like a skater boy. He had a Rick and Morty tattoo. Like, he was just real cute, real handsome. He was like somebody that I really had a crush on. But at that time, I was not like this. I was like, you know, my regular natural gay self, like I was a gay male, not trans or whatever. So during this time, working with him was amazing. It was awesome. Like, he always, when I would come to work, he would have everything done. So all I would do was just sit there and like condition shelves and put out new stuff and take stuff to the back that was old and throw it in the compressor, break down boxes, you know, take shipments off trucks and stuff, because he would be done already did everything else. There was nothing else for me to do. So I really fucked with him because of that. Me and him was working together from about, I want to say I started that job in like April or May of 2019. And I ended up getting fired, like I said, like around like August or September of that same year. I had this other manager who was over backstock. I want to call him Nick because I don't know his real name. If I knew his real name, I would tell y'all. But I don't know his real name. And you had this other guy in the story. His name is Don. That's his real name as well. Like, y'all, I'm using real names because, like, these are people that I didn't do anything sexual with. Like, these are just people that I used to work with. I'm not going to use code names for them. Adriel, I really don't know his name. We're gonna call him A because his name started with A. So me and A, one day he was telling me how like he got this new Rick and Morty tattoo, and he was back there doing like some work or whatever it was, and it ended up like snatching off the skin of his tattoo, and he said it hurt really bad. It messed up his tattoo, it messed the ink up and stuff, and he was really upset, like really upset. So at that point in time, Mr. Krabs was showing favoritism to him as well as Nick. And Adriel was getting really tired of dealing with, you know, if I say A or Adriel, y'all know who I'm talking about. A was getting really tired of them, like, having him running, like, having them run him ragged, having them do all of their job plus his. If y'all see me looking somewhere, I'm looking at my mirrors right here. Oh. Okay. I'm looking at my mirror in front of me. So what he just kept telling me was he's going to quit one day, he's going to quit one day, he's going to quit one day. I was like, okay, well, if you quit, you know, just let me know. He was like, yeah, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let you know if I quit or not. I was like, okay, because he had really been talking about quitting, like, for a long time. And I'm thinking in my head, man, why you want to quit? Like, what's the point of you quitting? Like, what is that going to change? What is that going to do? But mind you, when I got hired, he was there for a long time, apparently. I didn't know how long he had been there. I just knew that when I got there, he was there. So, basically, skip. This day in particular, he had ended up telling me how, oh, you know, my last day is going to be, I think it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday or something like that. I forgot what it was. I mean, it's really not important when his last day was, but just know that it was his last day. And he was like, and on my last day, I'm going to get on the intercom and I'm going to call out Mr. Krabs on the stuff that he does. I said, well, wait until I come in because I want to be there when you do it. He was like, okay, I will. Y'all, that man did not wait until I got there to do that stuff. All I know is I'm literally walking into the Kroger's, right? And all of a sudden, everybody's just quiet. Like, it's like it was this awkward silence. And wow, my face looks very yellow. As I'm walking to the back, that's when Mr. Krabs, he comes over there, and I'm noticing like a lot of people in the store are looking at him upside his head. I'm like, why are they looking like that? So I goes over there to the backstock section, and then I see that, oh, you know, he didn't do any work today. That must have meant that he went ahead on and he had quit. So I was like, all right. And then Mr. Krabs comes up to me, and he's like, oh, you know, your friend left? I'm like, he did? He was like, yeah, he left. I was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, just do the backstock stuff, and when you're done, just condition the shelves, okay? I said, all right. And he walking around with his head down and stuff. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, did he do it? I'm like, I think he did it. So then y'all, Devin comes up to me. He's like, yo, dude, guess what? I'm like, what? He was like, Adriel, or A, whatever his name is, y'all. He got onto the loudspeaker and he said, Mr. Krabs does this and that and this and that, and then he's a bitch, right? And he said that on the thing, and he walked out. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I missed that. After that happens, long story short, I don't know how, when, or where, but Mr. Krabs ended up getting fired. I don't know what happened. I still don't know what happened to this day, but Mr. Krabs ended up getting fired. And I never had saw him ever since then. So after he got fired, you also had this other guy, like I said, his name was Nick. Now that's not his real name. I don't remember his real name, but his name was Nick. And basically what happened with him was he was, like I said, the backstock person. So he was in control of making sure that the backstock dollies were turned and done before, I guess, we leave or whatever the case may be. So at this point in time, you know, me and Devin are still working there. And at this time, after A left, that's when they hired Don. Now, they hired Don. Don was really cool. You know, he's still really cool to this day. But Don was hired. And basically, and long story short, they were showing him favoritism. Like, not saying that he wasn't a good worker, because he absolutely was. Absolutely was a great worker. But they were showing him favoritism. And I don't know if he knew that or not, but they were showing him favoritism 100%. 100%. And it got to the point where they were giving him more hours, and they was, you know, paying, I don't know if they was paying him more or not. I don't want to say that, but they were giving him more hours, and everybody was just all, oh, Don. And then they was like how, oh, you know, Fletcher, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you need to do this, you need to do that, this is not correct, that's not correct. I'm just like, well, dang. I mean, at first, y'all was cool with me, and I was doing everything right. Now, all of a sudden, everything is wrong, and I'm doing everything wrong. And they were slick kind of bullying me, in a sense. Like, not Don. Don was not bullying me, but the people that were the managers, they were bullying me. It was a time where I'm sitting in the break room, right? And I'm just like, oh, I'm chilling or whatever. And I happen to go up into, like, you know, the break room. The lockers were by the break room, and I'll keep myself in the lockers. I'm over hearing people upstairs talking about me. I'm like, oh, so this is what we do. That kind of resonated in my head for a long time. Now, at this time, Nick started nitpicking with me. That's funny. But Nick really started nitpicking with me, and I didn't understand why he was nitpicking with me, because I never really did anything to him or to anyone. So it's kind of throwing me off why he was always nitpicking with me. So I had got kind of like the connotation that they were, you know, giving people extra hours, but they were cutting mine. Hey y'all, it's me, Fletch, from the future. I'm so glad that I remembered this. So let me tell y'all something. I forgot something. So after Adriel left, that was around like June or July-ish. I want to say somewhere up in there. So around August time, no, it's like June or July-ish. Then Don came around like the end of July or middle of July, end of July or something like that. I don't know. But what happened was, it was an opening for a full hour schedule. Mind you, I'm still like working during the summertime. You know, school hasn't started back yet. So it was a race to see who was going to get that 40-hour schedule. Now, mind you, I had already inquired with Mr. Krabs and Nick that I wanted that schedule because I was trying to make some more money. And, well, I didn't say that, but I wanted that schedule because I wanted some more hours, because, you know, I didn't have those many hours, and, you know, I was trying to save up and like, you know, buy school supplies and do things for school when school starts back. That's not what I told them, but that's what my ideal plan was. And I was like, okay, you know, we'll look into it. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. I'm like, okay, cool. I know I be repeating the same phrase twice, but I do that because like that just be me emphasizing that's what they said. They're asking for updates. Ain't nobody telling me nothing. Ain't nobody told me anything. Then that's when they had hired Don, like I had mentioned, and Don came through. And then he came through. He was working a 35-hour schedule too. Like his hours was like sometimes 25, sometimes 15, sometimes 30, sometimes 35. Posters up in the break room in his glass to see like what your schedule was and how many hours you were working at the end of the week. Then all of a sudden he jumped to a 40-hour schedule. So I was like, that's weird. How is he at 40 hours? He just got here. But I have been asking for this position for about like 2 weeks now, going on almost 3.5, close to a month, and I didn't get it. That was confusing to me how they just hired him and gave him that. But like I said, this is just me speaking from how I felt at that time. I'm not mad anymore. I don't care. Now, at this time, school has started back. Summertime's over with because I got the job during the summertime. School started back in August, and, you know, I'm like, yo, you know, I can't be, you know, working these hours like this because I have school. Like, they had me coming in at like 10 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock. Babes, I got out of school at 2:15, really at 3. I can't be at school. I'm not at school. I can't be at school and be at work at the same time. And I wasn't going to keep getting checked out either because I'm missing out on valuable learning time. Or at least that's what the receptionist said. Actually, y'all, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to wipe all this off and I'm going to start this back over. Alright, y'all, I'm back. And like I said, I had to like rewash my face again to get all of that off of there. My face is finna be so dry. Like where I left off at when I had said that they were showing favoritism to Don. Now, at this time, I was just like, okay, whatever, you know, they found somebody else that they really like. He does a good job, whatever, I don't care. Never told anybody that I heard them. Of course, why would I tell you that I heard you talking about me? Duh. I remember one time I was on the aisle and I was like putting some product up or whatever it is. And then Nick and another one of his accomplices, another one of his managers, he comes over there by me. Me and Don was on the same aisle. We were just talking or whatever. We were just having a pointless conversation. And that's when they came over there like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Me and Don were just talking for a second. It's like, oh, did you put anything out? Did you put anything out? I'm like, yeah, I did. I put some stuff out. And it's like, oh, okay. So they're talking to Don now, but then the other one, Nick, he goes over there to where my boxes are, and he's looking at my boxes, trying to see if I really did put anything out. And I peeped that, but I didn't say anything about it. I just looked, and I was like, okay, anyways, whatever. I remember one time Don did tell me that they was talking about me. I was like, but I already knew that. You didn't have to tell me that. I already knew that. Girl, I peep everything. I just don't say nothing. I'm like, okay, I see what you guys are doing. I know what y'all trying to do. But I'm not going to get the satisfaction of y'all making me angry or taking me out of my character. So I said, okay, cool. We just going to leave it where it's at. I'm not going to start nothing. As long as they don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. I don't know what Nick had said to me, but he said something to me, and it really upset me. And I told my dad about it. Mind you, I was always telling my dad that this man was messing with me. And my dad was getting really sick of it. He said, I'm going to go up there and whoop that man's ass, right? But I'm thinking in my head, Dad, don't do that because you're going to go to jail. Don't do that because this Caucasian man is going to be quick to call the cops. My dad ended up not doing it, but he did call up there and say he wants to speak to him. So my dad was telling him, like, why are you picking on my son? And, you know, XYZ 1, 2, 3. And then Nick stopped bothering me for a little minute. Now, this is around, like, I want to give, like, a rough timeline, like a rough estimate of this timeline right here. So I want to say it was around maybe sometime in August. Because I was planning on leaving like August the 3rd, but I ended up like still working there because I was going to leave September the 3rd, my sister's birthday. So, y'all, I'm sitting there. It's a pretty nice day. I'm chilling. You know, Don's not there that day. I'm putting up my stuff on the... Oh, girl, I'm moving too fast. I'm putting my stuff up on the little aisles or whatever. And on this day, I just noticed that, you know, Nick had a very, like, nasty attitude. I didn't know what was going on with him, but he was just having an attitude problem, and I wasn't here for it, so I was just ignoring him. He told me to go back there and work the backstock dollies. That's what I did. Now, after I worked all of those dollies by myself, I'm like, child, ain't nothing else for me to do. The shelves are restocked. Ain't nothing out here, nothing for me to put up. So I'm gonna go chill out, walk around, probably like organize a couple of things on the shelves, maybe go up there and help bag a couple items with the cashier. Cause after I was doing all that, I was like, well, I ain't got nothing else to do. So I went and I sat in the break room, right? At this point in time, they had hired a new manager. I forgot her name, but they had hired a new manager. She was really sweet. Really, 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 really sweet. I don't know if she's still up over there, but she was really sweet and I really liked her. Her and Nick walk in to the break room and they see me sitting there. So they see me sitting there and that's when they both look at me and then Nick is looking at me like all up and down, left and right, like it's a problem. So I look at them and I smile like what do y'all want? I end up just coming out the break room because I'm like, I feel like something's gonna happen. So I leave out the break room. When I leave out the break room, Nick is like, oh, you know, did you work that dolly that's out there that I had in the middle of that? I was like, yeah, I said, yeah, I had already worked that dolly. So I had just put it back, and then I just came in here and sat down for a quick second. He was like, oh, okay. Did you work the backstock dollies? I was like, yeah, I already had finished all of them. You can go back there and look. I already did all of them. I didn't say that, but I did say I already did all of them, you know. So I just came in here and I sat down for a quick second. Then he was like, oh, okay. So then he goes upstairs. Now I go back out there because I feel like something bad is going to happen. Like I just had this premonition that they was going to pull something. So I leave out from up in there. And then I started like walking up and down the aisles, cleaning up stuff, picking up stuff, conditioning, you know, things. And then I got bored again because I didn't have anything else to do. So you know what I did? I took my ass back into the break room and I sat down. So I'm sitting down this time. I'm guessing they have, because I went up there. Okay, so I came back into the break room after I was done, you know, putting a couple more things out, organizing a couple more things. And I went upstairs. I went upstairs to look for them, to ask them what else could I do. And I didn't see them. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to go back downstairs because I'm not going to sit up here and wait on these people to come up here and then for them to be like, why are you up here? So I came out from up there in the admin's office, went down the stairs, and sat back down in the break room. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching TV because I don't have anything else to do. I've worked everything. I've done all my work for the day. So I'm sitting there, and then all of a sudden, I see him and that lady walk back into the break room. I'm just like, okay, what do these people really want? Because there's no reason why y'all keep on walking in and out of this break room, and every time y'all come in, y'all staring at me. What is really going on? What do y'all want? So as I'm sitting there, him and Nick and that lady, they both just look at me, and I look at them, and then they both just walk upstairs. They ain't say nothing. They just walked on upstairs. I'm like, okay, whatever. Because I'm like, I didn't care. I don't know what y'all problem is, but I'm not here to try to figure it out. So they walk upstairs. Now, as they walk upstairs, you know, I'm like, let me just go on back out here and try and find something else to do because, you know, I don't need them saying nothing to me. So then as soon as I walk out the break room, I go back on an aisle to do something. I hear, Fletcher, can you report upstairs to the office, please? Fletcher, report to the office, please. So I'm like, oh my God, what does this man want? Because I'm already getting tired of you nitpicking with me and you starting and you showing favoritism. First of all, one, he cut my hours. I didn't even mention that. He cut my hours, 1. 2, he was giving more hours to Devin. 3, he was over here chastising me, talking to me like I'm a kid, trying to get smart with me, catching the attitude, and it was really getting under my skin. Because I'm like, look, oh, I didn't even tell y'all. Let me reverse it real quick. Now, I was doing my YouTube, like I said, at work. And I was in the bathroom recording myself, you know, in the bathroom, in the mirror. And this ugly fat bastard decides to walk up from where the urinals are. Mind you, you're not even in the video. I'm recording myself. He walks up and he's washing his hands in the mirror. But I notice he keep looking at me and looking at me and looking at me. And he's looking in the mirror, looking at me, recording myself on my phone, talking to my phone on Snapchat, right? This is back when Mr. Krabs was still working there. Mr. Krabs calls me up there. It's Mr. Krabs and Nick and this other guy. They all was like, why is it that we were getting a complaint about you recording somebody while they were peeing? I said, what? I'm like, I was not recording nobody while they was peeing. And then here go Nick, well, they said you were. I'm like, but I wasn't. But they said you were. And you should be recording anyways if you're on the clock. I said I had just got here at like 2:45. My shift don't start until 3. So I was in the bathroom at 2:45 recording a video. I don't have to do any work until 3 o'clock. He was like, but if you're on the premises, you're supposed to be doing work. You're not supposed to be in the bathroom recording somebody peeing anyways. Who does that? And I looked at him. I'm like, bitch, nobody is talking to you. Why are you talking to me? So then he's like, I don't understand, like, who comes to work to record a video. Like, I don't understand it. I just don't get it. Like, you're not supposed to be at work recording videos. You do that stuff at home. I'm like, who asked you? Who the fuck asked you? Oh, why is you here? Mystery Crabs called me up here, not you. So why are you talking to me? So girl, let me tell you. So they asked me to write a statement, and they said, let's look at the video and see if you really did record this man peeing. Girl, I showed them that video. That man wasn't even in the video at all. It was strictly just me. Mind you, we have a mirror from Timbuktu all the way to Egypt, and you mean to tell me that there's no way possible I could catch him in the background of the video? That's because I wasn't trying to record him. So when I showed them, they was like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, we do see that you didn't record him. We do see that. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure y'all do. After that, I'm guessing they told Nick about it, and Nick was like, oh, well, we see that you didn't record anybody, so yeah, you're good. We're not gonna write you up. You're good. And I'm thinking in my head, write me up? What? Fire me? Over me recording a video of my handsome self at the time in a mirror in the bathroom because I felt cute that day. Girl, now we're back at the point to where I was in the, they called me up there to the office, right? So they called me up there, and when they called me up there, her name was, I think her name was Miss Gretchen or something like that. I think Gwen, her name was Gwen. So Gwen, she's like, hey Fletcher, I was just calling you up here because I was going to ask you to, have you started on your little quizzes or whatever, because we had these little quizzes that we had to do. Excuse me. We had these little quizzes that we had to do every now and again for the union, because we were under a union. So we had to do like these little quizzes on like how the environment is and what all is going on and things like that, right? Okay. So I told Gwen, I was like, no, I haven't started on my quizzes yet, but I can do them now if you would like me to. She was like, oh no, you don't have to right now, but just make sure you get those things done or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So then she said, also, Fletcher, give me just 1 second because Nick needs to talk to you. I'm like, okay. So Nick is like, first of all, one, he came at me very like nice, nasty. He was like, so why were you sitting in the break room? I said, because I didn't have anything to do. He said, because you didn't have anything to do. I was like, yeah, I didn't have anything to do. He said, so don't you think that if you don't have anything to do, that you need to find something to do? You don't need to just go into the break room and just sit down and not do anything. I said, well, I mean, I already had turned the backstock dollies, then he interrupted me. That was strike one. He said, okay, but if you already did them, why did you come and find us? I said, I did. I came up here to try and, okay, but if you came up here and you didn't see us, why did you go around the store and look for us? I said, I was going to look for y'all, but by the time I came back down and sat down, y'all was already, okay, but if you saw us coming back in, why didn't you? Just kept on interrupting me and getting real smart with me. So I was like, you know what? I'm done talking to you. So I turned my attention to Gwen. I'm like, Gwen, do you need anything? She was like, no, I was just trying to see if you had did your your quizzes and stuff like that. I was like, oh no, I didn't do them yet, but I can do them later on. Then he said, actually, you know what? Personally, I don't even want you in my section anymore. I don't even care for you to be in my section anymore. You know, you can just be a cashier. I don't care. You know what? Actually, you know what? You're fired. You're fired. Actually, no. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you out of my section because I don't want you in my section anymore because you're worthless. And I said, okay, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care. So that's when Gwen was like, okay, so we're gonna try and change your schedule, and we're gonna try and get you to where you're a grocery bagger instead of being back here on the backstock. I said, okay, Gwen, thank you so much. And mind you, as I'm talking to her and I'm trying to hear what she's saying, he's constantly talking and talking and talking and talking and egging me on. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. That makes no sense. It's just stupid. That's just stupid. That makes no sense. That's just dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb. I turn and I look at him and I said, I'm not talking to you. Then he said, get out of my office right now. And then he started walking up. Baby, let me tell you something. In my little, when we were back there, you know, doing backstock stuff, of course you have box cutters and you have like other little appliances that you can use to cut boxes open. So I done took off my apron. I got my box cutter still with me. Baby, I grabbed that box cutter out my pocket and I looked at him. Step forward if you want to. I'ma slice it that ass like a motherfucking piece of onion on a chopping block. Play with me if you want to. Everybody gonna get gutted like a fish up in this bitch. Cause I'm tired of you. You fucking with me and I'm tired of you fucking with me. And I start walking up. That's when Gwen gets up. She's like, whoa, 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 hold on, y'all. Okay, hold on. No, we're not gonna be doing that up here. We're not gonna be doing that up here. So at that point in time, y'all, I burst out and started crying. Like, y'all, I was to the point to where I had had enough that I broke out in tears. I'm crying. Like, I mean, I am sobbing. I'm sobbing. I'm screaming. Like, I'm so mad. I don't know what I said, but I'm crying. I'm sobbing. I'm screaming. And then I'm like, you just don't know. You just don't know all this that I've been through with these people. You just don't know what all I've dealt with these people. These people have been constantly picking at me, and talking about me, and just, they have been picking at me. You just don't know what I've been through with these people. And she's like, I know. Just come on down the stairs. Come on down the stairs. And then he was saying more stuff, and I turned around to go back up the stairs to say something. Y'all, I lost my balance. Like, I got weak in the knees. Like, y'all, I was that mad that I literally was losing control of, like, my balance. Like, I was crying. My tears were hot. Like, when I tell y'all, I've never ever gotten to a point in my life where I was crying so bad that I lost my balance. Like, that's how y'all know I had been dealing with that for so long, and I really had just snapped. So she was like, come on, boo, come on. I'm about to fall down the stairs. I'm crying. Like, she just picked me up. Like, she didn't pick me up, but she's holding me up, walking me down the stairs. At that time, Devin was working there, but I'm crying, walking past people, and nobody asked me what happened. Nobody said what's wrong. Nobody checked on me. And I was just like, damn. Well, I had left there. And while I was standing outside, I get on the phone with my dad. I'm on the phone with my dad. I'm crying. I remember I was trying to do a vlog that day too. That's why I never posted it. But I think no, I don't have that video anymore. I deleted it. But all my life, people have been bullying me. So, you know, and solely because of the fact that I'm gay. That's it. Because I wasn't a lackluster worker. I did my job. So it's just, people just was always thinking they could just say what they wanted to say to me, because when I'm young, it's my first ever job, and they felt like they could say what they wanted to say to me. Then when I started returning that energy, like, no, but you ain't gonna little boy me, now all of a sudden people got, you know, all this pressure and inertia about them, and they want to fight, and they mad. Boo, you ain't got no reason to be mad. Stop talking to me like you stupid. I know I just did my eyebrows, and that's it, y'all. And not really, but the only reason why I only got my eyebrows done is because I had to keep starting this over. Because I kept messing my makeup up, y'all. I really had kept messing up my makeup. So, after that day, I was talking to Gwen about how, about like me getting another job. She was talking about transferring me to another, Kroger's or whatever. But she never did. She never did. And then she said she was going to get back with me about another position somewhere else at another Kroger's, and she never did. She never did. And from that day forward, every time I try and get a job at Kroger's, I never get hired. So I'm pretty sure they blacklisted me. And then shortly after I left, Mr. Krabs, he got arrested for domestic violence. He was beating his wife. Yeah, so that's what happened with him. And he was part of people talking. He was talking about me too. This other guy, he got fired for showing a drill or whatever his name is, pornography on the clock, which he wasn't supposed to be doing. So he got fired. And basically, y'all, that is pretty much it. Like, I don't really have anything else to say about that. He got fired, and then shortly after, Nick had got fired. Another girl that used to work, well, not girl, she's a grown woman. So another lady that used to work with me up there, she told me that he had got fired, and I was like, really? She was like, yeah, he got fired. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good. Like, that's good. Like, mind you, I haven't been working there for like 2 years. It's like 2021. I'm at Technicolor now, and she told me that. I was like, wow. That's good. He finally got what he deserved. That's good. So, basically, y'all, that's kind of like where this story time ends. Like, all I'm going to do is put on some eyelashes. I'm going to do my face. But I'm not going to do that on camera because, like, I just wanted to get this story time out to y'all. Because I was trying to do it the right way, but I couldn't. So, basically, that's all for the story time portion. So now I'm going to just go ahead on and do my makeup in fast speed. And when I get finished, I'll come back on camera and I will say my goodbyes. And yeah. Alright, y'all. So I am back with my finished look. So this is the finished look, y'all. All I did was throw a little bit of like some gold color on my eyelids. Y'all can see. Like, I didn't want to do nothing too dramatic because, like, I'm going to take this right on back off anyway. So, this is my face. This is the foundation. As you guys can see, she's giving smooth. She's giving the girls very much smooth. And yeah, I also didn't contour my nose because, like I said, I'm really not trying to do a whole bunch of everything because I'm going to take this right on back off. So if you guys like this story time and this cute little makeup, like get ready with me. Well, not ready with me story time because I'm not going anywhere. But this cute little makeup story time, please give me a thumbs up. If you did it, give me a thumbs down. Please make sure you like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. And if you want to see my beautiful face, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you like my video because that's what pushes me out into the algorithm and gets my videos out there. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.